Hi friends, my name is Alyssa Tarr. I am a wife, a mother of 4 boys, an interior styling coach, and an Enneagram 9. If you know anything about any of these topics, you know that simplicity is an absolute necessity. Ooh, that's good. Simplicity is a necessity. You're welcome. You won't find that anywhere else. Okay, today I wanted to cover Module 1 in my home styling guide, Inspiration and Vision. This is a really basic intro, and so I'm just going to go over it really quick just to kind of elaborate on what's here. So for Inspiration and Vision, you'll really deep dive into that in Module 2, where you'll find steps to find your desired aesthetic, which is the overall feel or vibe, if you will, that you want in the space that you're going to be styling. You're going to make a Pinterest board, and seriously, keep referring to that throughout the entire time that you're styling the space. That's something that I really need to work on when I'm styling my own home, because like I'll just jump in and start styling things and I'm like, wait, crap, I don't like this. So I did that when I started styling my office space, and that's why I'm going through this with you, because hello, I need help too. So you need to make a Pinterest board and keep referring. So for Inspiration and Vision, you'll really deep dive into that in Module 2, where you'll find steps to find your desired aesthetic, which is the overall feel or vibe, if you will, that you want in the space that you're going to be styling. You're going to make a Pinterest board, and seriously, keep referring to that throughout the entire time that you're styling the space. That's something that I really need to work on when I'm styling my own home, because like I'll just jump in and start styling things and I'm like, wait, crap, I don't like this. So I did that when I started styling my office space, and that's why I'm going through this with you, because hello, I need help too. So you need to make a Pinterest board and keep referring through it, or throughout the styling process, keep referring to it. Alrighty. That way you make sure that the space aligns with your vision at every step. It's basically just a roadmap. And it's really helpful. It also helps you stay motivated, because if you're seeing pictures that you really like and you're creating momentum by being like, oh, this aligns and this looks good and I really like this and this fits the vibe that I'm going for, it helps keep you motivated and inspired. And that's huge when you're styling your own home. Okay, so I've talked about this before, but I want to harp on it again. The reason that I became an interior styling coach instead of being an interior stylist who just goes into people's homes and styles it for them is because styling your home is so personal, and it's really putting your heart into the way things look and feel. And while I could come in and make your home look beautiful, I think it's so much more important for you to have your hands on it and put something of yourself into your work, so that on the other side of it, you can be like, dang, I did this. This fits what I wanted. This is my heart for this space. And that's something that you can hold on to and keep just close to your heart. I think that's really important. So I found this word, meraki, it's Greek, to put something of yourself into your work. I think that it's so easy for us to get caught up in trends and current styles and disregard what truly represents us. And when you're getting your hands, you're getting your own hands dirty styling your house, you're really gonna stay true to your heart, and you're putting something of yourself into your work, and that's so deeply important. So I absolutely love that. And okay, on a strictly practical note, if you're not sure where to start in choosing your anchor pieces, which I define later on, but basically it's just the main pieces that you need in a space or that you want in a space, I highly recommend starting with either an area rug and pull colors from that. If you're trying to find a color scheme, because if you find a rug that you love, rugs are really expensive. And so if you find one that you love, bring it into the space and then build from there. You can pick wall colors from the rug, you can pick furniture colors from the rug, accent piece colors, or like anything that you buy you want to align with how that rug looks to make it cohesive. I love doing that. Another anchor piece you could start with is the biggest item in the room. For example, in the bedroom, buy a bed frame that you really, really love. Start there, because bed frames can be really expensive, but they're also huge. And if you buy one that you don't end up liking, then it's going to throw the whole room off no matter what you buy. In a living room, the biggest item would obviously be a couch or like any piece of furniture that you're putting in there. If you don't have a couch, maybe it's armchairs or a coffee table, whatever. The biggest item in a dining room, obviously the table or a curio cabinet. Things like that is where you're going to want to start in that room potentially. Or the other thing you could start with is a wall color. If you find a paint color that you love and you don't have anything else in the space to build off of, just go with the wall color. That's probably the simplest one, the most straightforward one, because if you buy a neutral paint color, like my current favorite paint color is Ghost Pines from Benjamin Moore, and it's so beautiful. I absolutely adore the color. So I would buy things that match that. Alrighty. So in regarding wall paint color, if you want to update it, don't make any other purchases until you finalize the paint color. I have a paint choosing guide and I highly, highly recommend it, because while paint is kind of affordable, to repaint an entire room requires so much setup, moving furniture around, all of that if you end up hating it. So really, really be intentional about choosing your paint color. Alrighty. Next. And I'm just covering a lot of basics here, so I apologize. You may already know this, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't fall by the wayside. Intentionality is key. To see with, because cameras nowadays, they have, the grids you can follow and make sure that everything aligns and that it looks good together. Taking pictures is a really great way to tell if things are cohesive or not. And lastly, be willing to completely empty the space of all the little things. Obviously, you don't need to take all the big things out of the space. That's just a pain in the butt. However, taking all the little decor items, like all the art off the wall and all the tchotchkes and little knickknacks and small accent items, you can take them all out of the space to get a fresh look. That way, there's nothing interfering with your vision for the space and what it could be. You want to start by getting your anchor pieces into the best position. Once the anchor pieces are in place, you can begin slowly incorporating the other items. I would say definitely start with a minimum amount of items in the space and build only as you find items that truly fit your vision. Okay, so Kate Shetler says, empty the space before you rearrange or redecorate it. Let the room breathe. Start fresh, build slowly. It just helps you get clarity in what you're doing. If you take away all the excess that you don't for sure love, and then you can start building what you really truly love. All right, that's it for module 1. We will cover module 2 next time. If you are looking for more inspiration, you can follow me on Instagram at Mrs. Alyssa Talk, or head to my website, anchorhomestyling.com. It will be in this general area where, and so just click follow, hit subscribe, like. If you're on YouTube, do the thing.